Hey everybody, Joe from Ice Cave Radio here, and it's maximum excitement because we have a case of Twilight of the Republic right here. It is yet to be opened. I will open it right now. We'll get to opening boxes. I have 2 cases to open this weekend, so I'm very excited about that. I opened 2 cases in set 1, got a full play set of everything, except for one Vader I had to trade for, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do that from now on. I'm just going to get 2 cases each set, get my play set, be able to build any deck I want to build, and call it a day, right? So here's me trying to maneuver a knife while looking at my camera instead of my hands. It's a little bit rusty, too. I need to, maybe, I don't know. You call that a knife? Anyway. Wow, we didn't make it like 30 seconds into this video without a dated movie reference. Welcome to Ice Cave Radio. Anyway, here we go. Our first box of Twilight of the Republic. And you may notice that you can't see me right now. My normal webcam has decided to be terrible, so it's in the garbage. And I am using my nice Sony DSLR actually to record this. So you can't see me, but that's okay because you get a pretty incredible view of the cards. I think I'm just going to do this from now on, actually. So back to the knife. Also, thanks to Fantasy Flight for the absolutely beautiful mall playmat that they sent out for me as part of that kit. And let's get opening. Let us see if we can find a showcase. That is the real sort of question here, as I am like, as far as showcases go, I am 1 for like 20 or 30 boxes at this point, so I'm beating the odds. But hey, I'm hoping 1 showcase per case. Let's do it. Let's get lucky this time. You know, I'm not gonna fold it in because it makes it hard to get the packs at the bottom. All right, where should I set this? I'll set this over here. All right, pack number 1 of the first case of Twilight of the Republic. And it's showcase, right? No, it's not. It's Quinlan Voss, though. That's pretty cool. Put the leaders over there. Oh, man. Where am I going to put my trash packs? I'm just going to do my usual thing and throw them on the floor next to me and figure out later. Drop in. All right. And we're going to do our usual arrangement kind of thing, too. All right. And mostly, you know, obviously looking for the legendaries, the things like that right now. Just sort of sorting as we go at the moment. Steadfast Senator, that's a fun card. There's so many fun cards in this set. Providence Destroyer. We got a lot to go through, so I'm probably not going to go through every single card like usual. Unmasking the Conspiracy is our first rare. So put that over here. All right, and then that. Okay. I've got like cords in places they usually aren't, so hopefully I don't bump anything and knock my precariously positioned camera down on the floor or anything like that. That would be tragic. Padme Amidala. I'm very excited about building Padme, actually. And you should be too. I think she's better than people say. Vanquish coming back as a reprint card. I think that's probably a pretty good thing. All right. Self-destruct is really fun. Admiral Trench. Invasion of Christophasis. Hey, it's our first legendary. Check it out. Yeah, Invasion of Christophasis. Exploit 4 costs 15. You can reduce it by 8, so you can make it 7. Choose an opponent, defeat each unit that player is controlled. So it's a targeted super laser blast for 7 if you get the full exploit, but then again, you have to get the full exploit. So it gets a little bit tricky there. And ooh, check it out. Hyperfoil Series Officer. That looks very nice. Look at that. Very shiny. I like it. I think this guy could see some use in some separatist decks for sure. Let's do that. Let's do this, and we'll put the legendaries here. And I'll put the hyperfoils here. I'm only really separating the hyperfoils. I kind of like to keep those in a binder, so. All right, next pack. Maul. Character I wish I would have drawn at my pre-release, but I didn't. I did get 3 Newt Gunrays, though. I just realized I'm doubling up on the command stuff here. Oops, hold on. Rearrange. I was like, why do I have less room than usual? Well, that's why. Pelta Supply Frigate Grenade Strike. I was talking about this with some people last night where I feel like if you look at leaders like Mace Windu. Ooh, it's a nice hyperspace heroes. 2 heroes on both sides. Both heroes on both sides. But as I was saying, I feel like I'm gonna move this over here. Actually, I feel like with the amount of decent direct damage spells in red right now, it's possible to build a red control deck around Mace Windu without necessarily relying on oh wow, 2 hyperspace in 1, without relying necessarily on blue. The Clone Wars. Let's see. We'll do this. Things are so discombobulated with this opening so far. And a foil take captive. Welcome back. Welcome back. Take captive. I hope all you are having good luck with your box as well. Dooku, the player I played in my pre-release. Shocking. I know I rated him so low, and I stand by that rating. But I also stand by the fact that in a pre-release, you're not really building a deck, you're finding a deck, right? You are discovering the best deck that you can play. And my best deck, believe it or not, was indeed Dooku. Foil patrolling AT-AT. Or AAT. AAT. Anakin Skywalker. Underrated leader? Maybe. I mean, people are singing his praises in Limited, but I think in Constructed he might be pretty decent. Been kind of messing around with some combo deck ideas for him that I think could be pretty fun. All right, droid deployment. Gotta love that card. Bold resistance, and it's a hyperspace squad support. Okay. And Luminara Unduli. Jedi Rare. Okay. And a foil Providence Destroyer. Fun. I had to cough there. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my hands in the middle of the frame, but like I said, I've got like a really different setup from usual, so it's a little bit awkward, but we're trying to make it work. Obi-Wan, Christophsis. There's so much good command heroism stuff in this set, I think. I'm just very excited to build around this set. I think it's going to be really fun. Wish I had Jesse. Hey, check it out. I was going to make a Jesse's Girl song joke, but then I pulled a legendary General Grievous. All right. This guy, I mean, first of all, look, he's a 3 for 4/4. That's just great stats, right? You're just going to put him in anything that's villainy blue, right? But you can maybe throw some lightsabers in there. I think I know I want to build some sort of like janky, crazy combo deck where I'm just trying to pile Grievous to the brim with lightsabers and then get, power failured. But it could be fun. It could be fun. Our second legendary and a good one. I'm excited about building Grievous. Mostly, he's just a good card, I think he's just a great aggro card. Again, a 4/4 for 3 just messes people up. So, all right, Jango Fett. Might rearrange some things for the next box. Try to keep things in frame a little bit better here. We'll see. Thanks for bearing with me. Mace Windu's lightsaber is our rare, and then we have a foil rare, Corner the Prey. Okay, cool. Double rare pack, never a bad thing. Django. Ooh, that looks good. Hyperspace Hotshot Viewing. Cool. Political Pressure. Very annoying card, but very good for making battle droids, because a lot of people don't want to discard something randomly. Shocking, right? Echo, Death by Droids. Corner the Prey is our rare, and then we have a foil. Wartime Trade Official. I was going to move the box over here, actually. Move our knife over here. Whoa, and then bump the camera cable because it's not It's not usually there. Okay, we're still in focus though. Man, I gotta say, I don't usually do like anti-shoutouts, but Razer webcams, man, I'm done. I think I'm done. I've got the Kyo thing. Oh, cool. It's a hyperspace nuke gun ray. I had the Kyo thing, and every time I plugged it in, things crashed. Never worked very well. It was always very finicky. You always have to use like their proprietary software, or they at least try to force you to use it. So, sorry, not a fan. Jar Jar Binks. Republic Defense Care Vehicle. Ooh, a rare base. We've got the Pow City. Each leader you control gets +1, +0, and a foil rare in Masameda. All right, nice. I think these. I think the new rare bases are actually pretty solid. +1 health on your leader or +1 attack on your leader is sneaky, very good. Ooh, hyperspace Padme. All right. I've got a Padme deck I've been brewing, and I don't know if it's great, but I think it's at least pretty good. I think the bones of a good deck are there. I'm looking forward to doing some testing with it. Reprocess. Hey, speaking of bases, this is, I would say, in a foil Prisoner of War. I want to talk about this. So I would say I think this is the best of the new bases. Petronaki Arena. Each leader unit you control gets +1, +0. I mean, obviously it's great for like Twin Suns, but I think just giving +1 attack to your leader makes a massive, massive difference. So it just breaks a lot of math in the game, you know, as far as what your leader can do when it flips. So, and I don't think the 4 health tax is really that bad, you know. Hyperspace Crystal City, very cool. So, yeah, I would say get ready to see a lot of Petronaki Arena, and maybe a good amount of Pow City as well. I'm going to have so much sorting to do after this. Asajj Ventress. Sword and Shield Maneuver. Sabine Wren, our rare for this pack. Very cool. And Self-Destruct in foil. Pretty good card in limited, I think. Especially if you're trying to defeat some things. What do we got? It's Yoda. B1 Attack Platform is a really interesting card. It's just a 5/3, and it's a 5/2 for 3, so it's just got big attack. I think it's something where it's like your opponent's going to have to trade into it. I kind of like the idea of it for an aggressive deck. Oh, am I putting? There we go. That's right. Darth Maul. Hey, our 3rd legendary. There he is. Nice. And then a hyperspace multi-troop transport, hyperfoil, in fact, multi-troop transport. Which, you know, creating a battle droid token, not bad, I think. But yeah, Maul, I think just another great aggro card, 5 for 5/6, great numbers. And then just being able to attack 2 units instead of 1, I have a feeling is going to be very useful. Especially when you take into account the Maul leader ability of giving things overwhelm. You know, you kill 2 units and you overwhelm for a little bit of damage leak through. I think that's very solid. Anakin. Hyperspace, The Nest. So yeah, the thing is, I think set 2 had some good legendaries, but it had more of kind of the, you know, build around for fun sort of legendaries, which I do think is a good use for that slot in the packs, or in the set rather. Stella Guerrera is our rare. Stila Guerrera, my bad. Stila Guerrera. And Republic Commando in foil. But I think the set has some really good just like core legendaries that are going to be useful in a lot of different decks. Cad Bane, man, Cad Bane just seems so strong. Pre-Visla. Hyperspace, level 1313. Wasn't there going to be a game about like that level on Coruscant, I thought? Was that, did that ever come? That was canceled, wasn't it? Relentless Rocket Droid. Creative Thinking is interesting. Lux Bonteri. Hey, my reveal card. There he is. Clone Commander Cody. Not bad. Crazy uncommon. He's so good. Camped Typho in hyperspace. Ooh, neat. All right. That's cool. Like it. And the Invisible Hand is our rare. And a foil infiltrating Demolisher. Neat. Three pretty solid legendaries so far. I feel like my average is usually like 4 legendaries per box. You can get more, you can get less. I feel like the last set was a little bit rough as far as legendaries went, but oh man, by the way, best art in the set, aggrieved parliamentarian. He just looks so aggrieved. So aggrieved. But yeah, I think hopefully this one will be slightly better in that category. Zero the Hunt is an uncommon, and Foresight. Okay. That'll be a fun one to play with Yoda. Foil Coruscant Guard. Ooh. Yeah, I'd say so far this box is doing good as far as legendary quality. Love to see a couple more legendaries before we end, though. If we're lucky. I've got the Law Worlds finals on in the background as I record this. You can't hear it, obviously, but I've got it on the side monitor. Ooh. Hyperspace Private Manufacturing. Hyperspace cards just look so good. Emphas Nest is our rare. Neat. And Ahsoka Tano. Ooh, foil legendary. All right, good box. Foil legendary here. And this is a really interesting unit, right? Because you've got conditional ambush, but a 3/4 for 3. Pretty good stat line. And then the ability to return the unit and each upgrade on her to her owner's hand. So it can be a little bit evasive. Can get the value from the ambush more than once. I can't tell you exactly where she would be used best yet, but I do think she'll be usable. But neat. First foil legendary. Moving on. Newt Gunray. I'm going to like cringe every time I see Newt Gunray now in my pre-release kit. I got 3 Newt Gunrays, but not a lot of blue to use at all. And so let me go over my leaders for my pre-release. And I unfortunately only have time to play 1 pre-release. Finn and a foil Obi-Wan's Aether Spite. Cool. Yeah, I only have time to play 1 pre-release this time, so it's kind of a bummer. I got, in my packs, I got 3 Newt Gunrays, a Count Dooku, a Jango Fett, and a Yoda. Now, couldn't play Yoda, because I had barely any heroism cards just in general. Just didn't get heroism cards. Couldn't really play my 3 Newt Gunrays, because I didn't really get a lot of blue. And Jango, I just don't think he's the greatest. I think it's, especially in pre-release, you need stuff that deals damage without having you run into things, because if you're just trading, then you're not really, then Shock T is awesome. Then the exhaust doesn't matter, right? Because it's just going to be dead anyway. Another Foresight and foil Admiral Trench, fun. So you don't really get to use Jango's ability very very much. He's going to be better in constructed, I think. So then, Ahsoka, again, not many heroism cards, couldn't really play her. And then, Grievous. The stuff I did end up with was a lot of good exploit things. So I got pretty good droid token generation, and I got pretty good exploit cards. And so, well, if I play Grievous, I'm not really going to end up using his ability that much because I don't want things to run into my stuff. I want to save them and be able to exploit them. So that's how I ended up, funny enough, double rare pack, Foresight, and the Green Arena, Droid Manufactory. When you deploy a leader, create 2 battle droid tokens. So that's what happens when I try to tell a story and read a card at the same time. So that's how I ended up on Dooku, because, okay, Grievous comes out 1 turn earlier, but I'm not going to really use his ability. Dooku's ability could conditionally be decent from time to time, and he's going to be such a good finisher, was my logic, that I'll have a big exploit thing out, and I'll have a 5/9 with Overwhelm out, and it worked pretty good the first game, but then the second game I ran to a Maul, and I just got slaughtered. His Maul's just so good. Plo Koon manufactures soldiers. Clone. Hey, another legendary. We're at 5 legendaries. That's great. Hyperfoil, aggrieved parliamentarian. Forget this. Hyperfoil, aggrieved parliamentarian. Yeah. Huge. Beautiful. Most beautiful card in the whole set in Hyperfoil. Amazing. Oh, yeah, and we also got our 5th legendary. It's Clone. Clone's going to be really fun. I'm kind of excited about this. Only the card's printed attributes are copied, of course, so it doesn't get any extra buffs or anything like that. But yeah, going to be a very, very fun card to mess around with. Note, I believe that since it specifically says enters play, as that, you are not playing the card that it turns into. Chancellor Palpatine is awesome. You are not playing the card that it turns into, so you can't, like, you know, copy an Avenger and take something out, you know? You can copy an Avenger and get the stats of the Avenger, but you're not playing an Avenger, if that makes sense. Lethal Crackdown. Savage Oppress. Unnatural Life is our rare, and then another Hyperfoil. Hyperfoil Tactical Droid Commander. Cool. Neat. Oh. Someone is 16 months old and she wants to get in my office. I will play with her later. Can't wait. But right now, I gotta open packs. I'm sorry. You'll understand when you're older. Kalani is our rare, and a foil Soldier of the 501st. Two packs left out of box number 1. Really, I would say pretty solid. Looks like we've got a Hyperfoil, Hyperspace Leader. It is a Maul. Neat. Hyperspace Maul looks pretty good. But no, unless we get one in our last pack, it's looking like no showcase in box number 1. Mace Windu's Lightsaber again, and foil Padawan Starfighter. Final pack of box number 1. I think that's another Hyperspace Leader. Ah, it's a Hyperspace Wat Tambor. All right, cool. I think this guy's going to be pretty good too. I think he seems very solid in a pre-release if you still got some out there to play. Keep an eye out for him. Wish I could play in another pre-release. I wish I had time. Maybe next time. I like Constructed better anyway. Hello there. Stila Guerrera is our rare again, and foil In Pursuit. So, yeah, box number 1 ended up with some cool hyperfoils and a really nice set of legendaries. This one's a little bit... I wonder how useful this one's going to be. It's very conditional. I could see it being used as maybe a one-of in certain decks, but, I mean, all these other ones, Grievous, Maul, Ahsoka, and then Clone, I think are all very usable legendaries. So, yeah, cool first box. Move on to number 2. Here we are, box number 2. Let's bump the camera and then let's get this thing open. All right. No showcase yet. The search for the showcase continues. Although, with the way showcases have gone for me, I would not be surprised at all to go through both cases today and not get a showcase. No showcase case. All right, here we go. Let's just put them up. Put it there. Okay. Stuff over here. And here we go. We're going in. I'll put my legendaries on the side here. Put those in the case later. Okay. Actually, well, let's open one pack and then I might redo some things. Hey, Hyperspace Dooku, nice. Hyperspace Pike Place, nice. We got a resupply. Squadron of Vultures. All right. Creative thinking is kind of interesting. And General's Blade. Ooh, I think this card's going to be very good. And a foil creative thinking. General's Blade. Okay, pack number 2. Reposition things a little bit. Yeah, Palpatine. Hyperspace base. Ooh, Hyperspace Volunteer Soldier, welcome back. We're probably going to go through these faster, you know, as time goes on. Unshakable Will turned out to be kind of a sleeper hit, I think, in Limited. Finn is our rare, and a foil, Subjugated Starfighter. The Unshakable Will was good. Just 2/2 and Sentinels is, you know, annoying to deal with. But there was another one where, I forget the name of the card, but it's like -2/-2, and you exhaust the unit when you play it for like 3. And that is a card I underestimated for sure coming into this one. Clone Commander Cody, welcome back. Compassionate Center. Hey, Hyperspace Padme Amidala. And the on attack of an enemy -3/-0 for the phase. I didn't get a chance to use this card, but I've heard very good things about it. Sand Hill is our rare, and then foil Aura Singh for our foil. But, you know, her having, you know, 4 health and then just being able to reduce the attack seems to be stronger than I think people were expecting. At least in pre-release, anyway. Sly Moore. This is an interesting one. Take control of an enemy token unit and ready it. At the start of the regroup phase, that token unit's owner takes control of it. So, you know, a good way to just use up one of their tokens, I suppose. So in theory, if they're playing a lot of clones, you can get like 5/5 of stats for 3, which seems strong, you know. So I think she might be good. I think Quinlan Voss, by the way, is going to be stronger too than people are kind of expecting. Certainly in pre-release, I rated him pretty highly there, but I think in constructed too, he might not be bad. Just being able to, you know, reduce the health of whatever they play by 1 each turn, in theory, if things go well, sounds pretty strong. Eye of the High Ground is our rare, and a foil 501st Elite Core that goes right there. So our first box is pretty good. Got some good legendaries. Dooku. Upside Down. All right, there we go. Perilous Position. This is the one that I really underestimated. I got a couple of these, and I don't think I got a lot of other good blue stuff, but I think maybe I should have considered playing that. At least maybe even as an off aspect thing, because I think paying 5 for that late game is not terrible. Just the exhaust and -3 or -2/-2 is pretty fun. Mr. Bones, there he is. Nice, aggressive. If you have no cards in hand, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit. Definitely a fun card. Definitely a fun card. Oh, that is a sick-looking hyperfoil. ETA-2 Light Interceptor. Very neat. And a very neat ship, too. Maybe I need to hook up some sort of like ceiling harness for my camera. That would be kind of neat. Hyperspace Republic Arc 170. Very nice. Nice looking. Oop, there. And Impropriety Among Thieves. Choose a ready non-leader unit controlled by each player. If you do, oh yeah, this is the fun one for Twin Suns. You just kind of pass around the leaders. And welcome back, Resupply. Man, I would have loved to have a couple resupplies last night with Dooku. That would have been nice. What Tambor? What? Tambor. Multi-troop transport. Plo Koon. And rare base. And a foil caught in the crossfire. Caught in the crossfire is really interesting, but it's very expensive. So I don't know. I don't know. It might not be worth it, but it does seem like a potential late game, you know, your opponent's big units remove each other kind of situation. I don't think it's a bad control card, really. But it is pricey. I'd be interested in maybe trying to run like 1 or 2 in Mace Windu, you know? Death by Droids. A fine addition. Ooh. If an enemy unit was defeated this phase, play an upgrade from your hand or from any player's discard pile, ignoring its aspect penalty. That'll go in my Jank Grievous deck. And it is a hyper foil Captain Typho. Cool. Very neat looking card. I was a little bit critical of the art in this game early on, and I think rightly so. I think some of it was just genuinely not good. But I gotta say, each set, it's getting better. They're definitely, you know, taking people's comments and feedback to heart and working on it. So, yeah, it's good to see. Star Wars game with rough art is a tough thing to handle, but I do think it's getting better. Pyrrhic Assault. Hey, our first legendary of the box. For this phase, I like this card a lot, actually. For this phase, each friendly unit gains, when defeated, deal 2 damage to an enemy unit. So you have a big board of what have you, clones. It is just double command aspect, clones or battle droids, and then you just kind of do a bit of a board clear for only 3. So very interesting double aspect card. I am kind of excited about that. Foil battle droid. I am kind of hyped about it, not gonna lie. It's kind of one of those things where it's like you're making a lot of tokens, but you're not getting the exploit. There's Nalase. Nalase is gonna be a fun one. Just the deck building options are very cool. But yeah, going back to Pyrrhic Assault, you know, you're playing an exploit deck, you're not drawing into your exploit stuff, or you maybe instead of exploiting, you just want to clear the board. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good tool for that. Consolidation of power. That's an interesting way to get a bigger unit out faster. It is kind of expensive, and a foil Sandhill, so double rare pack. But I think there might be a use for this one here. I think it might be okay. I haven't really, I haven't really put a ton of thought into that card in particular, though. But those are just my knee-jerk kind of reaction thoughts on it, you know? Vanquish is back. On top of things. And I do like Magna Guard Wing Leader. I think it's a strong card. Bo-Katan Kryze. 2 for a 2/3 for our rare. Gets a lot of stuff if you control another Mandalorian. That is good. And then if you control another trooper, it's a 3/3 for 2. So I think potentially a very strong aggro card. In the right deck. Maybe it'd be like a Pre-Vizsla, obviously, or it would be a Gar Saxon. But I think she's fine in Maul and stuff too. All right. I actually really like this card, especially in limited. Just 1 for a +1 attack, and you do 1 damage when you play it. It's just such a versatile little card. I think it's one of my favorites in the set, at least in a limited format. Anakin's Aether Spite. Anakin's Interceptor, rather. Hey, there he is. Jar Jar Binks. Hello. And we have a Count Dooku. And we have a foil series officer. I think Dooku has some nice board clear potential for late game stuff. Maybe good in Maul. Just my initial thoughts on that. Mace Windu. I think that's the first one I pulled. Oh wait, no, I have one from my pre-release kit that they sent me. Just making sure I've got all the leaders. I think Mace could be a really fun leader to build around. as a good red control leader. Our first, like, real red control leader, you know? Hey, it's the Zillow Beast. 9 for a 10-10. When played, give each enemy ground unit -5, -0 this phase. When the regroup phase starts, heal 5 damage from this unit. Bomb and limited for sure. But you gotta have a deck that lets you live to play it, you know? Could be just an annoying card to play in Constructed, too. I'm not sure. Dooku, give it exploit, you know? Old Access Codes is kind of a fun card, too. Honestly, this set just has a lot of, like, fun cards, right? Saj Ventress, once again. Ahsoka Tano. Hey, another Ahsoka. 2 out of 3, and then Heroes on Both Sides is our rare. But our second Ahsoka, not foil this time, but still. I think a good legendary to have. I think she's going to be useful in some decks. She's got that sort of, like, I'm the Ground Millennium Falcon from set 1 card vibes, you know? And we all know how good that card was. She doesn't come in ready, obviously, but if you can get the ambush off, that's very good. And then just being able to return her to your hand has that same kind of use case vibe, you know? Savage Oppress for the Republic. And then a foil Steadfast Politician. If you control 3 or more Republic units, this upgrade costs 2 less to play, so it comes up for 1. So 1 for 2/2, and Coordinate Restore 2. So yeah, if you're rocking that Republic stuff, I think maybe a card you want to take a look at. Can I just say too for a second? Shout out to Fantasy Flight for going with the paper packs. So much easier to open, so much better to open, and supposedly better for the environment. That's good too. But just a much more pleasant pack opening experience, I think, in general. I love this R2, by the way. Hold on. This R2 is great. Just great early game filtering, right? I mean, you discard a card from hand, you replace it with one of the top 3 of your deck. Like, that's awesome. What an amazing uncommon. He's going to go in, like, every deck. Tranquility. Ooh, neat rare. I love these ships, too. Very, very cool. And I think this is a legit card for a lot of Republic decks. Clear the Field, I think is going to be a good sideboard card. Get to bounce some stuff, you know. Oh, okay. I love paper packs, and then like the next pack is like the hardest paper pack I've ever opened. But it's okay. I'm sure it's going to deliver. Ooh, T1, 1 game 2. I realize Faker would win his 5th Worlds if they win this. That is wild. And he's been in like another Worlds Finals besides. Rush Clovis. Let's talk about Rush Clovis for a second. 4 for a 5/5 essentially. 3/5, right? But then when he attacks, he has raid 2. And then on the attack, if the defending player controls no ready resources, create a Battle Droid token. I think this is just going to be another very solid card, especially in Battle Droid centric decks. But even in not Battle Droid centric decks, I think it could work too, you know? I think it could work as well just because, you know, creating another 1/1 is never a bad thing, you know? Perilous Position. So yeah, I think Rush Clovis is a good card. Hyperfoil, Hyperspace, Tri-Droid Suppressor. Maybe like one of the not as good exploit cards, but then again, the exhaust is handy from time to time. I did run a couple of them in my pre-release deck, and I thought it was pretty good. Aid from the Innocent. Search the top 10 cards. Foil Daughter of Dathomir. I had to see what it was. Top 10 cards for 2 Heroism non-unit cards and discard them for this phase. You may play the discarded cards, and they cost 2 less each. Cost 5. So a little bit on the expensive side, but very interesting potential with that. All right. Going through these a little bit faster there. Hello there. Malevolence is our rare. Very neat. Exploit 4, so it can come out for 1. Restore 2, so 1 for a 7/7 with a restore 2. When played, given enemy unit -4, -0 for this phase. It can't attack for this phase. Fun stuff for sure. And foil clone heavy gunner. Neat art on Malevolence too. I'd like to see that in hyperspace at some point. Ooh, hyperfoil Yoda or hyperspace Yoda. Cool. I wish there was kind of a chance to get the hyperfoil leaders. That'd be neat. But then you'd have to get foil regular leaders, and it gets messy, I'm sure, as far as the production side of things. And yeah, Brain Invaders. Each leader loses all abilities except for epic actions and can't gain abilities. Interesting card. Very interesting card. Potentially some sideboard usage there, but probably not main deck. Definitely interested, though. All right. New Gunray. I've seen enough of you. Hyperspace Daring Raid. This was an MVP card in pre-release. It seemed like too. Just doing the damage when it comes out. Just having a 6/5 with Overwhelm on the board on the ground arena. I think it's another card that could be good in Constructed too. Now there are 2 of them. I love this card, by the way. Legendary, our 3rd legendary of the box, and one of my favorite in the set. If you control exactly 1 unit, play a non-vehicle unit from your hand that shares a trait with the unit you control. It costs 5 less. I've been messing around with this card a lot in just building decks and things like that, doing a little bit of testing. I've been playing it in Padme Cunning deck, so I can get like Clone Commander Cody on turn 2, or I've been playing it in Nala Se, where I can like play one of the clones or the troopers, and then turn 2 I can either get Clone Commander Cody or Gideon Hask, because he's a trooper, so you'd share that with a lot of first turn plays. I think this is going to be one of the best legendaries in the set. Once people learn how to use it, glad to pull one. And a hyperfoil Dendups Loyalist on top of that. Very neat. Hyperfoils look good, so good on this camera, actually. Whoa. Ooh. Yeah, now there are 2 of them is definitely a card I need a playset of, because I'm going to put it, I think, in a lot of decks. Hyperspace Lair of Grievous. Hyperspace Vanquish. Someone was saying that they felt like the hyperspace rate was a little bit lower this set, and I was kind of wondering that too. Petition the Senate. If you control 3 or more official units, draw 3 cards. Potentially a very interesting card in Padme. Yeah, I guess it's heroism, so you can't play in Palpatine, but or at least not the old Palpatine. But yeah, very interesting. Hey, it's a hyperspace Jango Fett. Looks very cool. Man, the showcase Jango Fett looks amazing, by the way. I can't remember what I was talking about a second ago. I'll be honest. Clear the field. Kit Fisto. There he is. 6 for a 7/6 Saboteur. Coordinate on attack. You may deal 3 damage to a ground unit. So a good ECL target, perhaps. Trade Federation Shuttle is our foil. And that is the end of box number 2. So very light on legendaries here. Pyrrhic Assault, Ahsoka Tano, and now there are 2 of them. No foil legendaries. 3 hyperfoils, so definitely not the greatest box as far as legendaries goes. I'm just going through my rares again, making sure I didn't like miss a legendary or something, but I don't think I did. No. So yeah, 5-3. That's how the boxes go sometimes. Moving on to box number 3. Here we are, box number 3. Let's get it going. No showcases yet, but no problem. No problem. We've still got hope. There's always hope. A new box is a new hope. Do I sound like I have a problem? I mean, the thing is like, showcases are like they're a curse for me too, because if I get a showcase, then I feel compelled to build around it, even if it's like the worst leader in the set. So I have to be careful. Nope. There we go. I need to like pick an order for cards, so when I open a new box, it's not always hard to remember. Bo-Katan's first rare, and Wartime Profiteering is our first foil. So we're going to just go blue, green, red, yellow. From now on, blue, green, red, yellow. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, where does it go? Especially if I want to go fast. Blue, green, red, yellow. Slime more. The Clone Wars. We got a lot of packs to go through. Oh, we have a hyperfoil. Ooh. It's been a while since I've gotten a hyperfoil legendary. It'd be fun to... I'd love to get a hyperfoil legendary Grievous. That's actually, I think, the one I want the most. Shakti. Oh, that's Echo. Con the Crossfire is our rare. And, whoa, what? Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Hyperspace, a hyperfoil invasion of Christophosis. All right. I mean, that is beautiful. That is a very cool piece of art on a very cool legendary. Not that, like I said, I'm not sure how much it's going to be played, but it's certainly one that has potential either way. Hyperfoil legendary. What did I just say? And somewhere out there, Fantasy Flight was listening and they were like, make it so. Thank you. Very cool. Now, if I could just get a... see, I used that luck to get a hyperfoil legendary. I should have done that to get a showcase. Hyperspace Dendups Loyalist looks neat. It's been a long time since I've gotten a showcase. It's been exactly one expansion since I've gotten a showcase. Consolidation of Power and foil Relentless Rocket Droid. So, I'm just saying, it's about time, right? It's about time. Nope, not this pack. Old access codes. This one's interesting. 1 for a +1/+0. If an opponent controls more units than you, draw a card. I think it's a solid card in limited. I like that we got kind of a new fleet lieutenant for Republic. Admiral Yularen, another great foil Aid from the Innocent. All right, Admiral Yularen, just very solid card. 3 for 2/5, great stat line. Restore 1, great. Each other friendly heroes immune gets +0/+1, even better. I mean, it's a character with 2 great versions of himself, because the original Set 1 Yularen was also great. You could play the double Yularen deck. And I think there's probably a lot of decks where you want to do that. Especially if you're doing some sort of double green shenanigans. I have the high ground. And a foil Bold Resistance. See, it's like there's a little bit of episode 1 stuff in here, but not a ton. Just bring me that pod racing. But bring me the pod racing in a way that pod racing is alternate win condition. Wow. Quinlan Voss. And a hyperspace to Poca City. Cool. Daughter of Dathomir, that's kind of an interesting one. Hyperspace Heavy Persuader Tank. Neat looking, I always thought that was a neat design for one of the Separatist droids. Heavy. Zero the Hutt. And Unlimited Power, our second legendary of the box. Double Aggression, deal 4 damage to a unit, 3 damage to a second unit, 2 damage to a third unit, and 1 damage to a fourth unit. If you don't have that many units, or if they don't have that many units, you are going to have to end up doing damage to your own units. So you got to be a little bit careful with it. Reflective of the Emperor and his history with his lightning bolts, but it is I think an interesting card. And for 6, obviously the price is right, you know. Oh, we got a hyperfoil back there. Ooh, what could it be? I'm gonna guess the neutral officer card, based on the little snippet of it that I saw. We'll see though. Hello there. Pyrrhic Assault. Hey, another legendary. Hey, we got as many legendaries in like the top like 6 packs as we did in the entire box last time. And we have Elite Core, 41st Elite Core in Hyperfoil. Pyrrhic Assault is definitely a card I want to mess around with, so I do want to place a... I mean, I want to place it of all of them, but... Hyperspace. Padme. Hence getting 2 cases this time around. Because I had this like situation last set where there was just like decks I couldn't play because like I didn't have 3 dark sabers for most of the set, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that again. Oh, cool. Hyperspace rare base droid manufactory. Nice. All right, I'm gonna find a way to use that. General's Blade, awesome rare, and a foil Batch Brothers, Super Batch Brothers. See if I do get a showcase. Like I said, I really just want it to be like a playable one. Like Maul would be great, obviously. I think I really do believe that Padme could be good. Oops, that goes here. Freelance Assassin in hyperspace, pretty cool. I think Rex is solid. I think Yoda has a lot of fun builds. The ultimate one I want is Palpatine, I would say. I think I said a different one before, but Palpatine is probably really it. Just because like he's going to be really silly fun to build around. Huh. Asajj Ventress. I think Asajj is going to be a fun kind of aggro deck. It seems like Villainy got some good aggro stuff this time around. And Villainy was lacking in just like pure aggro. You had Kylo Ren, but he was kind of the only one. 5s. And Steadfast Senator. As far as just straight up low to the ground aggro Villainy stuff. We're starting to see things kind of even out as far as like Villainy and Heroism getting access to different styles of deck. So I always felt like Villainy was more on the control side and Heroism was more on the aggression side in general. But now it's starting to even out a little bit. Steadfast Senator again. Bo-Katan is our rare, and Foil Vanquish. Mace Windu. He's on my list. He's on my list of decks to build. R2-D2 again. Sandhill and Hyperfoil Warrior Drone. Whoa. Didn't they all die? Wasn't there like a plot line where like all the Geonosians died or something like that? Hey, Hyperfoil Wat Tambor. What? Tambor. This card's great, by the way. Separatist Super Tank. Exploit 3. You can play 8/8 for 3. I think definitely a card to keep an eye on. As a card that will pop up in a good amount of decks that are very exploit heavy. General's Blade again. There's my playset of that. And a foil Prisoner of War. Ooh. I think Bactoid Spider Droid is another one too, where that might be one of the better exploit ones. 5/6 for 4 after the exploit with ambush. It's like everything I see in this set is just like, oh, I want to build around that. Execute Order 66. Maybe a good sideboard card. Foil Perilous Position. Hyperspace KCM mining facility. Admiral Trench, I do wonder how often you'll see him come up. As far as, I think he's maybe a 2 of in a big exploit deck. Hyperfoil Battle Droid Legion. Many droids. Handle it. You know, we got those 3 legendaries pretty quick, and then nothing since then. Box number 1 was definitely the star. Sundari. Man, the base art for the set especially I think is really good. Disruptive Burst in hyperspace. Equalize. Give unit -2/-2 for the fades, and if you control fewer units than that unit's controller, give another unit -2/-2. So, definitely a fun rare. And double vigilance is certainly a aspect combination that is played, so in a control sense, paying 3 for that seems solid. The only, I think, drawback is that it says another. But if it didn't, it would just be really good. Maybe a little bit too good. Ahsoka Tano. Hey, there's our playset of Ahsoka Tanos. 4th legendary out of the box. And a foil freelance assassin. Cool. All right. Ahsoka. Our first playset of legendaries. So, like I said, I think a 4 legendary box is average. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but 4 is average. A hyperspace Newt Gunray. Every time I see Newt, I think aliens. Not the Star Wars aliens. The xenomorph aliens. Huyang. I think this is a great rare. I think I'm definitely putting him in a lot of decks. Maybe even something like... Maybe even sneak him something like Sabine, you know? Because he's kind of a fleet lieutenant, right? He costs the same. He gives something +2 attack. They can use it immediately. They can attack immediately, but they can use it if they're ready. So maybe. Been thinking about it. Foil Hailfire Tank. Another decent exploit card. Either way, I think Huyang is great in some of the new Republic decks and stuff. Not New Republic, but the new Republic decks. Fine edition. And a foil Mace Windu's lightsaber. Ooh. Ooh. Look at it glow. I was reading on Twitter, aka X, Tyler Parrott was saying that the card draw on Mace Windu's lightsaber came from the fact that in a lot of testing, they found that he seemed to... Oh, that's a neat hyperspace. Cool. He seemed to run out of cards around his flip turn, and so this helped kind of shore up that potential, late game need for cards that his decks tended to have, which I thought was kind of interesting. Saw Gerrera is our rare. Raid 2. 6 for 4-8. Wow, that's leader stats, man. Raid 2. He's Cad Bane, leader. On attack, if your base has 15 or more damage on it, deal 1 damage to each enemy ground unit. Pretty cool. Definitely got some Anakin synergy there, which I think is kind of a lore thing, too, in the Clone Wars show. And, whoa. Ooh, speaking of Anakin, Hyperspace Anakin Skywalker. This is going to be a fun leader to build around. Oh, that looks so cool. That is a great-looking Hyperspace card. Just a great-looking leader card. At our store last night for the pre-release, the Ahsoka showcase was pulled, and the Obi-Wan showcase was pulled. Consolidation of Power. Foil 501st. All right, this is looking like a 4 legendary box, unless we get something super special in these last 2 packs. Did get a Hyperspace legendary in this box. That's kind of neat. That's pretty neat. How neat is that? Do we want to build double aggression Anakin? The thing is, you play this on him. He's a 8/5 plus whatever damage he gets from the base, you know. It is food for thought. Food for thought. I don't know if double red is the way to go with him, but it certainly might be. You've got like Saw Gerrera, Steel Gerrera, Mr. Bones. You've got a lot of stuff that I think synergizes well with the Anakin leader. But I think I might want to play something in yellow and do something a little bit more combo oriented with him than just straight up aggression. Just using him to try to finish the game, you know? Just off the top of my head, I think there's definitely potential for both builds. Another Dooku. And that's the end of the box. Box number 3. We got 4 legendaries. Ahsoka Tano, Pyrrhic Assault, Unlimited Power, and Hyperfoil. Invasion of Christophesis. Cool. And 3 other Hyperfoils. Always nice to see. Box number 3. Oh no, that rhymed. Here we are with box number 4. Get the knife. It's time for box number 4. I got this knife for camping, but it's been used more for opening boxes. I like it a little bit rusty though. I'm embarrassed. I need to fix that knife. Sharpen it. Shine it up a little bit. It's a good knife. Cuts through plastic like nothing. All right. Box number 4. So no showcases yet. But again, like it's entirely possible that I open 2 cases and I don't get one. It's supposed to be 1 every 12 boxes, but that's not, you know, it's not like you open 12 boxes and you're guaranteed one. Just every box has a 1 in 12 chance. Hyperspace Django. Hyperspace KCM mining facility. We said we'd go green, blue, red, yellow. So that's what we'll do order-wise. Let's arrange a little bit nicer. There we go. Perfect, perfect. I think Plo Koon is really good, by the way. I think it's easier to get Coordinate Online than I originally thought it was. And I think it's going to be useful. Hyperspace Newt Gunray. My mother calls me Newt. Isn't that in Aliens? Or is it my friends call me Newt? I don't know. I don't remember. Like I said, I just think Aliens when I hear Newt. Ooh, Hyperspace Hailfire Tank. That's cool. I like the hyperspaces where like the border really changes a lot, you know? It's kind of cool. Petition the Senate is our rare, and Death by Droids. What was our rare? Oh, Equalize was our rare last pack. Oops. Just starting to throw the rares in the regular cards. Oh no. Ha! Mace. Mace Windu. Inevitably, I'll find some rares and things like that that I've accidentally put in the regular stuff as I go through these later. Hu Yang, I like it. Reprocess. It's a card. Maybe a good card if you're playing that exploity kind of way, right? Aggrieved parliamentarian. I wonder what they thought at Fantasy Flight when they saw the art. They were just like, that is just beautiful. What if I could get the original and just get it framed? Well, I'm sure it was digital. I'm sure there's not a physical original version of that. Prisoner of War, and then Pyrrhic Assault. All right, I think this is our third one. So our second legendary we have playset of. I'm pretty sure we've got 3 of these. Either way, I think it's a cool legendary. And Hyperfoil, Perilous Position. Like I said, I think Pyrrhic Assault is a very, very potentially usable one. I know that doesn't sound like glowing praise, but I think for legendaries, you don't necessarily want them to be. I kind of actually like what Fantasy Flight is doing, where they aren't making legendaries the best cards, right? They're making them very unique cards, which I think is good. I think it helps keep the cost of decks down, which I think is very important. But it also gives interesting extra, elements to build around. Like Grievous, for instance. So I really like that, actually. Oh, another Hyperfoil in the back there. Like I said, though, I think this set does have a little bit more generally usable legendaries than some of the previous sets. Bold Resistance and Bo-Katan. Oh, neat. Hyperfoil Asajj Ventress. Pretty cool. That's a neat Hyperfoil. Charmer's going to be jealous. All right, Newt. I mean, when you're opening this many, you only really keep the hyperspace bases and things. What is this? What is this armored saber tank doing in the cunning heroism spot? Ridiculous. Squad support. Hello there. Hello there. Slimemore. Ah, foil Mr. Bones. Yay. Maybe he goes in Anakin. Maybe he goes in like a double aggro maul. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't go in anything. He's only got 1 health. But he only does cost 1. Ryloth Militia in hyperspace. And he's Mr. Bones. Which I don't really know the story behind Mr. Bones, but it's gotta be some interesting stuff. Ooh, a rare, a fine edition, or hyperspace, a fine edition. And General's Blade, 2 rares. Oh, we didn't get the 3 rare. Oh well. It's always nice to see the 3 rare packs once in a while. See, I think Quinlan Voss is going to be good, but he just doesn't seem terribly interesting to build around for me, so probably not going to build him initially for the Republic and foil the heroes on both sides. And I had to mute to cough. Like I said, the base art in this set is just great. That is so cool. Heavy. Jar Jar. Will anyone actually play Jar Jar? He's 2 for 2/3 with a very interesting ability that will require you to roll like a many-sided dice potentially. Like it's because it's unit or base. So what if there's like 10 things out there? You're gonna have to bring like your entire D&D set. What's with this pack? That's weird. It's bumpy. Some bumpiness to it. It's like some glue, or maybe like, I think it's little like little tears. Caught a little bit on the conveyor belt maybe or something. Going through these kind of quick now, of course, because we're getting a little bit deeper into the boxes. Sand Hill. Sand Hill, you can come out for free potentially because he's 6 and you can exploit 3. And then on attack for each friendly unit that was defeated this phase, ready a resource. So, that's an interesting thing because you can, like, use your resources, play him, ready your resources because you played him for free, and then play more stuff. So I think there's potentially some big kind of combo turns, with him. Hyperspace Heavy, Eye of the High Ground is our rare. Daughter of Dathomir in foil. So yeah, potentially some decently interesting combo turns with Sandhill, but I don't know. Looks like T1 might lose game 3 here. We'll see. Oops. I think Infiltrating Demolisher is a solid card. Lux Pantari. When an opponent plays a card, if that opponent paid less than the card's cost to play it, ready or exhausted unit. That's a very interesting ability. I do wonder if he's going to end up in some sideboards. Hyperspace Dooku. Hyperspace Dooku is also the name of my punk band in high school. Oh, I got a villainy aggression in my villainy vigilance. R2-D2, like I said before, I love that card. Fine edition. And foil. Headhunter Squadron. It's really interesting. 2 for a 1/2 in space. Republic fighter vehicle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd put it in a lot of stuff, but maybe if you've got some upgrades to put on it. I don't know. Hyperspace Mall. Cool. In the 5 packs that Fantasy Flight sent me for that creator kit, or sent us here at Ice Cave Radio, I should say, there was a Hyperspace Emperor Palpatine, so that's exciting. I already have that one. Consolidation of Power and Clone Trooper. Only one legendary so far in this box. So maybe a banger second half. I don't know. Second half of the box, I'm feeling it's going to be huge. We're going to get a showcase. We're going to get like 6 legendaries. It's going to be amazing. Just wait. Sabine Wren. Oh, yeah. And there's another rare. Double rare pack. We're going huge. Yeah, it's not looking good for T1 in game 3 here. Maybe we get some Silver Scrapes action later. Those of you who follow League of Legends know what I'm talking about. The rest of you are confused. Brain Invaders, The Clone Wars, foil legendary. I'm curious about how usable the Clone Wars is going to be. You get the clones, so you can win the wars, but you still give your opponent a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I think it's probably going to be good and worth it, but we will just have to wait and see, Jesse. Consolidation of Power. And foil, Zero the Hutt. Oh boy, not a lot of packs left. I think we got like 4 packs left and only 1 legendary so far. Uh-oh. It might be a really rough box. I don't think I've ever had a single legendary box before. That would be kind of tragic. We can't get a single legendary box, right? That's not possible, is it? Hyperspace Emphas Nest. That's kind of neat. And then Zilla Beast and Take Captive. So another double rare pack. But yeah, we have oh, okay, we got 5 packs left. Plenty of time to get another couple legendaries, right? Right? Yeah, I think if we only get one legendary, this would definitely be the worst box of all time for me. Which that doesn't feel good. I feel like there's a little issue with the the collation everybody loves to talk about. If there's a possibility of getting only one legendary per box, because there's a rare there. Because I think about all the people out there that were like me, when I was younger and playing some card games. You save up, and you buy a box. Like, oh, I got a whole box. Only getting one legendary, that would feel bad in that situation. I've got more boxes to open, so it doesn't bother me quite as much. But I think of that high school Doa, and saving up for that one box of Death Star 2 that I got in the Star Wars CCG. And if I had really gotten like none of the super rare cards, I would have been sad. Hey, there we go. Ahsoka Tano. There's a second legendary. All right, we got one. I told you the second half would be banger. That's our 4th Ahsoka, though, so I have to trade that. Droidica Security in Hyperfoil. Ooh, very neat-looking card. I do kind of agree, though, where it's like, why doesn't it have a shield or some sort of shield-related mechanic? Maybe we'll get one of those later, though. Anakin and a Hyperspace level 1313. All right, so we got 2 legendaries. I don't think, I'd love 3 to be kind of the minimum, but 2 is something at least, I have the High Ground and OC Sobek. Interesting little capture exploit card. 2 more packs. 2 would be a unlucky box on the legendary count. Guerrilla Insurgency is our rare, and foil patrolling at AAT. All right. Hyperspace The Nest. Okay. Does our last pack contain a legendary? Batch Brothers, get out of there. Self-destruct. Get out of there. Admiral Trench. Unshakable Will. Rush Clovis. And, oh boy. Yeah, so we have a 2 legendary box. We got our 4th Ahsoka and our 3rd Pyrrhic Assault. So, and we got some, to be fair, we got some neat hyperfoils. This is just a cool looking one. This is a good playable one. I think this is a playable one as well. So neat hyperfoils, but yeah, light on the legendary count. Rough box number 4. It's box number 5. I don't know why I'm singing this. You start to go a little bit crazy, Do you open this many boxes? Box number 5. This is the one with the showcase. Right? Or at least more than 2 legendaries. If we get more than 2 legendaries, I'll be happy. We've had a 5 legendary box. We've had a 2 legendary box. We've had a couple 3 and 4 legendary boxes. It's been all over the place. All right, let's get into it. I'll have you know too that I did stand up, take a break, hang out a little bit with the baby for a couple minutes here between boxes, and I think that's good. I think when you're doing anything desk related, it's important to get up and take breaks, Just because we're excited about opening a bunch of boxes of Star Wars, Twilight of the Republic, Unmasking the Conspiracy as our first rare doesn't mean that you can't get reinvigorated by standing up and walking around a little bit. All right. Oh, Hyperspace Quinlan Voss. Cool. Neat. Not a character I'm terribly familiar with, honestly. I think he's in like the comic books or something, right? I'm going to have to go and read about some of these characters now that they're in the game. Okay. Let's see. Disaffected Senator, Sandhill. We've got like a billion Sandhills. And a foil Savage Oppress. Savage Oppress. Possibly the worst name in Star Wars history. Captain Rex. I think he's going to be a fun leader to build around. But like, okay. I think we're just like creatively bankrupt when we're naming our bad guys Savage Oppress. Sorry. It's not the greatest name, maybe. Darth Maul, first legendary of the box. Not bad at all. All right, got a second Maul. Actually, that's my third Maul because I did pull one out of the pre-release kit that IFFG sent me too. So got my playset of Mauls. That is awesome because I think that's definitely one I want to playset of. One of the priority legendaries, I would say. Good start to the box. Okay. Clone Commander Cody, always happy to see him. Calculating Magna Guard. I don't think I've pulled one of these yet. Execute Order 66. Which again, I think Order 66 is going to be a decent sideboard card, I would guess. Another Hyperspace Anakin Skywalker. It's Skywalk time. That's what I'm going to say whenever I flip him and do like 20 damage in a turn. Those of you who know. Those of you who don't know should definitely look that meme up because it is hilarious. Definitely one of my favorites. Death by Droids in Hyperspace. That's a cool looking Hyperspace card. Defeat a unit that costs 3 or less. Create 2 battle droid tokens. It costs 5. Okay, so if it would have costed 4, it would have been too strong probably, right? Equalizers are rare. But 5 maybe makes it a little bit prohibitive to play. It's a good way to maybe get rid of some stuff that's been left around from earlier in the game. Maybe a nice little catch-up mechanic card for a control deck, you know? You couldn't quite handle all the stuff they threw at you, early on. So then you play Death by Droids. You take out a card from earlier in the game, and then you also set up some 1/1s for either exploiting or for just trading a little bit. Hey, Cad Bane. All right. This is I think this might be the most exciting legendary in the set for me. 7 for a 7/7. I think I'll probably play him in Casino Han because he's so good. When played, this unit captures up to 3 enemy units, non-leader units with a total of 8 or less remaining HP. The defending player may rescue a card they own guarded by this unit. If you do, draw 2 cards, which is huge. Super good. And then Hyperfoil, Armored Saber Tank. What is it with... I have noticed this. Have you guys noticed this? We get a Legendary and a Hyperfoil in the same pack. Often enough that it's interesting. It is of note. First Cad Bane. Again, definitely a fun card I want to include in some decks and build around a little bit. Very cool. I just like Cad Bane. I don't know. What can I say? I think he makes my Cad Bane green deck, the Cad Bane capture deck I was working on, a little bit better, too. He definitely makes the Jabba capture deck better. So I think he's going to find a home in some of those decks. And I think there's going to be a point where you're just going to capture everything. I think there's a strong likelihood that there is a Palpatine deck out there that just captures everything. General's Blade. Hey, double General's Blade. All right, foil and non-foil. There you go. Or we're awash in General's Blades. But what was I going to say? Yeah. So I think there's a set 1 Palpatine control list where you just literally capture everything. And then it's like, well, if you capture stuff, it comes back. And I'm like, not if you capture everything. So it's a fun, build to maybe play around with anyway. On the Doorstep is also a good droid creation card. Hyperspace Low Altitude Gunship. Very neat. It's a very neat looking Hyperspace card. a Foresight, and drop in. All right. 2 legendaries already. 2 good legendaries. We're doing okay in this box. As long as those aren't the only 2 legendaries. But we've already equalized our legendary count from the last box, so hooray there. Echo, Echo I think is a card that people might try, but I'm not sure he's going to stick around in a lot of decks. He's a 4/4 for 2, potentially. You do need Coordinate online. So, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about Echo. I've been running him in some stuff, but he hasn't seemed, like, super inspiring. Then again, there hasn't been, like, a really obvious replacement for him at that spot in the list. So, I think he's going to probably be in there for now, but on the bubble, a card that'll be replaced fairly soon. Pow City is our rare. All right. Equalize. Hyperspace rare. That's kind of a cool looking hyperspace card. And then regular rare. So the double rare pack. Not bad. All right. We need running. Yes, they still exist. This is, I don't think we saw any in set 2, but discards back, baby. The end of run. I think these are just at the end of some sheets, the end of printed sheets, and they just have been ending up in packs apparently again. But this is a new version. I haven't seen the yellow discard. I think they changed from the black to the yellow discard. Funny enough, I think they probably decided to make it yellow at the factory so that it was easier to spot to avoid this exact thing happening. But it's back. Discard's back, baby. I don't feel ripped off at all. I'm actually so glad I got one of these because I just think it's a really fun misinclude. It's not really a misprint because these are obviously intended to be printed at the end of supply runs, but then intended to be discarded. Hilariously, though, if you're packing a card game, I could totally see somebody at whatever factory is making these looking at this and not, realizing that it's not part of the game. Because discard is it looks like it might be part of the card game, right? So I can totally see how these get included once in a while. But this is like the best pull. I'm so happy to get one of these. I know Fantasy Flight is probably not happy at all to see these in packs, but I think it's awesome. Anyway, I digress. I'm very happy that the discard is back. I mean, I should probably be happier if it's gone forever, right? I know Fantasy Flight would be happier in that case. Double rare pack, too. Not bad. Hyperfoil rare Guerrilla Insurgency. A really cool card, actually. But I think this is just so neat. Discards are back. I'll have to message somebody over there about that later. Hey, Hyperspace Mace Windu. Very cool. Nice. Oh, discards. the bane of the QA people has returned. It's really funny. Rare base. And whoops. There. I mean that is a legendary card, right? That's probably even more rare. Hyperspace Newt Gunray. Probably one of the rarest cards in the game. I saw them, funny enough, when set 1 had those discards. Some of them were selling for like 50 plus. Because some people like me just like those, printing errors, collation errors. It's just fun, All right. Rare is Masameda. I am kind of curious about this. When you play into the unit, you exhaust this unit, search the top 4 cards for a unit reveal and draw it. He's a 0/4. I think potentially he could be really good in certain decks, though. I mean, searching is so strong in other games, and there's just not very much of it in Star Wars Unlimited. So having access to that consistently and non-conditional searching too, I think just units being the only condition is potentially very strong. So I heard, as far as the discard cards go, the discard card lore. Hey, legendary Kiadi Mundi. This is my first Kiadi Mundi. 5 for a 5/7. Coordinate. When an opponent plays their second card each phase, you may draw 2 cards. So potentially very strong. I think if you run Mace Blue, I probably run him, and he's not heroic, so you could run him in a lot of different decks. Very interesting. More legendaries than our previous box already, so that's good. 3 is on the low side, but it's okay. But yeah, going back to discard lore, I've heard tell of... I've only seen the regular discards with the black background in the wild, but I have heard of a foil discard being out there. I've heard of a discard with a legendary icon being out there, which I feel like is the crown jewel of discard misincludes. Get Fisto. But that's, yeah. That's funny. So we'll have to watch. They're out there again, lurking. I didn't hear about any at all in set 2. If you did, let me know. Leave a comment. I'm curious. But we've got at least one for set 3 confirmed. Finn is our rare. Yeah, let's talk about Finn for a second before we move on. When this unit completes an attack, choose a unique unit. For this phase, if damage will be dealt to that unit, prevent 1 of that damage. 3 for a 3/4, double vigilance. I hate to say it, but I don't feel like this is a great card. Prevents a little bit of damage. The double vigilance is a big hoop to jump through. I just don't see why it's double vigilance, personally. I think it could work just fine as a vigilance heroism card. And it would be strong, but I think it'd be within the guardrails of being a rare card. I don't think it'd be overpowered. I think it'd be good. But I'm a little bit disappointed in that one. Saw Gerrera is our rare, and a foil encouraging leadership. All right. I guess if you play double blue Finn and you're getting pinged, he can prevent you from losing the shield token if it's on a unique unit. That's the thing. It's unique unit too, so there's just so many caveats to the ability doing anything. So for a double aspect card, I feel like that one might be a little bit of a miss, honestly. Rush Clovis and a foil Magnagard Wing Leader. I think this is a pretty cool card. Action, attack with a droid unit, then attack with another droid unit. Use this ability once each round. You don't exhaust. So you can attack with this one. You can attack with something else. I think it's a good way to maybe use some droids before you exploit them. Make sure you get those attacks in, It's interesting. Nameless Valor is a hyperspace. That's a cool hyperspace. The art's getting better, which means the hyperspaces are only going to get better. Foil Zillow Beast. He helps you find housing, and he eats you. Not that Zillow. Different Zillow. Oh, well. You have a hyperspace guarding the way back there. Hyperfoil guarding the way, rather. Spoiler alert. Savage Oppress. Hyperspace guarding the way. Hyperfoil, rather. Neat art as usual. Emphas Nest is our rare. 3 legendaries. Hyperspace Sindari. Neat. Kind of reminds me of that place from in World of Warcraft. Akandon, I think it's called. Hello There is going to be an interesting card. I'm curious to see how much people are going to end up using that. A fine addition. 2 more packs for box number 5 in case number 1. Means only 1 more box before we go showcaseless in the case. But what else is new? Oops. There. Rare. All right. I don't know if Luminara is worth it. She's expensive. She has conditional grit. And the healing is okay, but it's not that strong. So, I mean, if you're building like a Jedi tribal deck, you probably want to include her if you need a lot of Jedi, but I don't think she's super great. Clone. All right, our 4th legendary. Nice. We're up to 4. Good box. And our last pack, that was it. So let's take a look. We've got our 4 legendaries. Clone is great. Kiadi-Mundi and Cad Bane, our first 2 of those. And another Maul. Not bad for our legendaries. And then hyperfoils. We got these 2. And then it's back. The discard card. Excited to get a yellow one with this set. Interesting. More easily visible. So this type of thing doesn't happen, but it still happened. On to the final box. And we're back for the final box of the first case. I already did a little bit of cutting here. Will we get a showcase? Probably not. But that's what makes them special. There's still some legendaries that I just haven't pulled any of yet, which is a little bit interesting. There's the red one I can't remember the name of, and then Satine, I think it is. So we'll see what we get. See what we pull out of this one. Green, blue, red, yellow, I think is what we said. Yeah. Trying to keep everything in focus here. Rare. All right. There were some rares. It was interesting. In 7 boxes last set that I just didn't get 3 of, which was interesting. Hyperspace Saw Gerrera. All right. I have the high ground for another rare. And a Hyperfoil patrolling at AAT. Yeah, hopefully we see more Cad Banes pop up. The discard one, the Satine, I'm not as like, if I never pull one of those, that's okay. But definitely want some Cad Banes. I've got the playset of Mauls. I've got the playset of Ahsoka's. Trying to think off the top of my head what else I would want, but I think I've got 3 clones ready too. It's potentially a good one. Clone Commander Cody, always nice to see. Petition the Senate. Whoa, all right. Hyperfoil Cad Bane, let's go. I would wager one of the best legendaries in the set, so pulling it in Hyperfoil is pretty sick. That's a great first legendary for this box. Nice. I'm into it. Definitely into it. Meanwhile, it looks like T1 might be winning this game. Going to game 5. Exciting stuff. We'll see if that happens, but I would love to see. I've been speaking about League of Legends again. And StarCraft, honestly. I've been a T1 fan for like well over a decade at this point. Like before they had a LoL team even. So it's been fun to see them do that organization to do super well. Although it's not really the same org per se. It's because it was SKT1. It was the Korean org, and then they were bought by an American owner. And now they're just T1. but still operated in Korea, obviously. Saj, and we got Guerrilla Insurgency as a rare, and Attack Pod. Man, Faker winning is what? 6th? This be his 6th Worlds that he would win? Or 5th? I think it'd be his 5th, I think. I should remember this, but I'm just being distracted by cards at the moment. Rare base. When you deploy a leader, draw a card. I don't know if that one's the best one. Losing 5 health too, so that's a lot of the new ones are 26. That one is 25. I'm pretty hyped about the Hyperfoil Cad Bane. It's pretty cool. Another rare base. And B2 Legionnaires in foil. All right. Hey, Hyperfoil Nalase. Hyperspace rather, Nalase. I don't think I had that one yet. Definitely a leader I intend to do some building with. There we go. Another legendary. The Invasion of Christophsis. I think that's my playset for those. And a foil Phase 1 Clone Trooper. All right. So the reason why the Droideka security doesn't have a shield token is because they aren't printing shield tokens in the set. The tokens are the Clone Trooper and the droid, Battle Droid. That said, I kind of think it's still okay, there's a rare, to include things that have shield tokens, because we're 3 sets in, like everybody has shield tokens, but I understand that they're wanting to make it simple for players who are just getting into the game and all that, and so they don't want to have a card that relies on a token that can't be found in packs, and yet they don't want to have like another token when you need, you know, so many battle droids and stuff like that. So I get it. I think it's, I don't know if I love that it has an influence on card design. Sabine is our rare, and Guerrilla Insurgency is our foil rare. Ooh. Because it seems like, yeah, it does have that, the token inclusions had a little impact on the design of that card. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if that's true or not. Hyperspace. Obi-Wan. Neat. But I think that's a little bit, sounds a little bit odd to me, but then again, I totally see why they did it too. Hyperspace, take captive. Welcome back. Ooh, T11 game 4. Going to game 5. Silver Scrapes time. Tranquility. And hey, all right, a foil. Now there are 2 of them. All right. Now there are 2 of them. I need a third. Now there are 2 of them. Getting foil one's pretty cool though. 3 legendaries in this box already. Let's keep it going. Going to game 5 of the World's Finals. So cool. Hyperspace, Zero the Hutt. Nice. Luminara is our rare, and then we have Foil Vulture Interceptor Wing. I bet that card has cool hyperspace art. I don't know. I feel like T1 wins game 5. Maybe that's just the fan in me talking. Shakti, Corn of the Prey is our rare, and Manufactured Soldiers is our foil. Unshakable Will is an uncommon, and the Clone Wars is our rare. And then we have a foil Senatorial Corvette. Neat. A little bit more discard coming out of red. I think that might be a card I put like a 2 of in Mace. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Padme Amidala. Hyperspace City. And again, we're going through these pretty fast because we're at box 6 now, so. Manufactured Soldiers. Planetary Invasion. Yeah, this is one of the legendaries I didn't have any of yet. Neat. Exploit 3. So you can play it for 6 if you kill enough units. Ready up to 3 units. Each of those units gets +1/+0 and gains Overwhelm for this phase. So this is going to be an interesting one again to build around. Not sure how practical it's going to be, but I could see it being like a game-winning card if you play it. But if you have the luxury of doing Exploit 3 and still having enough stuff to ready again, then you know, it might be kind of one of those win more cards. But I could see maybe including it in an Anakin combo deck just for the sole purpose of readying Anakin, you know? Like he hits for 8, and then you play that. You kill everything else on your board. You play that, and then you hit him again for 8, right? Hey, another legendary, Gore. And, look at that. A Hyperfoil Republic Defense Carrier. That is really cool. Wow, that is a beautiful card right there. Very neat. But our 5th legendary, good box, Gore. I didn't have this one yet either, so. Yep, 12. Can come in for 6 after you exploit Sentinel, Ambush, Overwhelm. Yeah, maybe a card you'd include in some, like Grievous or something like that. So already 5 legendaries. And part of that is because 2 of the legendaries took up the foil slot. So that's something to keep in mind too. Ventress, Hyperspace, Base, and Token. Great box though. Yeah, it seems like I'm going to say actually 3 legendaries is the average now. And if you go higher than that, it's because you have found a legendary in either a hyperspace or a foil slot, you know? That's my guess, is how it ends up working. I know there's a lot of people that do like the collation videos and all that, but I prefer to stay kind of ignorant to kind of, you know, maintain some of the fun and purity of opening the packs yet. Still looking for that showcase. Malevolence is our rare. And then, all right, Hyperfoil Grim Resolve. Attack with a non-leader unit against Grit for this attack. Could be a fun one to play around with. As some kind of surprise damage here and there. But is it really better than like a Heroic Resolve per se? I guess if you want the unit to live, sure. But since you're dependent on how much damage the unit is taken, there's that, you know, caveat that might make it worse in certain places. Trench, the Zillow Beast, and a rare Emphas Nest, or a foil Emphas Nest, which is also rare, yeah. That's a cool hyperspace there. Hyperspace Brain Invaders, Yularen, double rare, and a foil Holdout Blaster. Another double rare pack. I do really like the double rare packs too, because ultimately, like, the legendaries are neat, but most of them you aren't going to be using in a lot of like serious decks, you know. So in that case, the double rare packs are actually kind of better because it just gives you more of the, you know, kind of like workhorse cards that you need for a lot of different decks. Wartime Profiteering, and Rare Base. Petronaki Arena, like I said, I think is going to be one of the better, if not the best, Rare Base. Two more packs in the final box of the first case. We're down to our last pack for possibly a showcase. This has been a good box for legendaries. Can we finish off strong? Another Republic Defense Carrier, a Dooku, and a foil breaking in. All right. Final pack of the case. Is it a showcase? Nope. No showcase in case one. But like, the only showcase I've ever pulled has just come from a random box, so you just never know. Ooh, Hyperfoil B1 attack platform. Neat one to finish off the case. So Hyperfoils, we'll look at that really quick. Yeah, I got some neat, just really beautiful looking cards. That one especially is fantastic, you know. That's pretty cool too. But great legendary pulls here. Gore, Planetary Invasion. Now there are two of them in foil. Invasion of Christophsis, and then a Hyperfoil Cad Bane. Oh, yeah. Need one more Cad Bane for the playset. Definitely want that. But as you can see, I think it's 3 legendaries generally. But then if you can find legendaries in other slots, you can go higher. So that's why we've got 5 in this box, which is pretty nice. And that's the end of case number 1.